So if you want the boat to go that way, which way do you turn the steering wheel?
If I want the boat to go that way, I turn it that way.
Correct.
At the beginning of every season, Team Justagirl puts a shout out for one, sometimes two, new crew members for the season. The idea is to teach them everything they need to know to get them on the water.
Hey? I mean, it took a bit of while, but hey. Hey, how cool is that? Look at that. Right on the line. Measurements both sides are pretty much the same. Pretty cool.
Done a good job, hasn't you?
Good teaching, Jules.
Good teaching.
Hey?
Yeah.
Where's my shot? Is the skull living? I don't know.
One of the very first lessons is how to back the boat and trailer. And we do that on windy days when there's no one around the boat ramp.
Behind me.
We find this is one of the biggest boost of confidences for our girls. And from there, they just get better and better.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty straight.
Come and have a look.
I know I'm not next to the wall, but
It's an awesome job.
straight.
You're rocking it.
High five, girlfriend.
Thank you, Jack.
You did it.
I haven't been this happy since I had my kids.
You just gave birth to a whole new life.
Oh.
So it's, what's the time? 3:24 a.m. and we're heading down to Cape Jervis to get Rose her first shark.
Oh, my fish shark.
Is that what you want to go for today, Rose?
Oh, yeah, shark. Anything really big. Really big. It's got to be big.
So long as it's bigger than about a 32 centimetre whiting.
Yeah.
Rose is gonna
That's the
have-
biggest thing I've ever caught is about a 34 centimetre whiting.
I'm sure we can do better than that.
I think we can. So let's head on now. Radio.
So Rose, look forward to today.
I am. I'm going to catch me a shark.
It's been a long time since you joined Justagirl, and we've got you actually out here on the water, out in the deep, just with the golf and stuff. So
Yeah.
So that's a new experience for you today as well.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, bit of swell, bit of deep water,
Yeah.
bit of long trip. That's the problem here. Is the trip from here to the end of Kangaroo Island takes about 45 minutes on a flat day.
Oh,
So it's a long trip out. It's a very long day for the uninitiated. 3 o'clock rise. Takes us a couple of hours to drive down to Cape Jervis where we launch, and then it's another 45 minutes down this backstairs passage to where we're going to fish. So let's hope all goes well and we can get Rose onto a shark. So wind down, lift up, wind down.
it's a
Lift
little
up.
baby.
It's a swallowtail. All right, bring him in.
My first fish.
Rose has got a little swallowtail. I'll take some photos, Rose.
Oh, nice.
Smiling.
Another one of those little ones.
That's a big one of those.
As the day went on, it got a lot calmer, but alas, it didn't look like we were going to get amongst the sharks today. It was so quiet today. We just didn't know what was going on. We got a few snapper earlier, which had to be returned to the water. Jules and I got into quite a few flathead, but poor Rose, all she could get was shipfish.
What's happening now?
I felt it biting, so I started wanting to let it have it a bit and then started wanting
Rose was getting a bit quiet, and she also was changing colour. For Rose to be quiet, you know something's not quite right.
How long have you been at it?
only about 3 minutes. If that. But it's tiring when you've not done it before.
Oh, you got colour? What have you got?
Might be nice if I got a flathead to match everybody else's flathead, but it's one of those shit fishes again. Oh
Oh.
no, what's that?
It's a shitfish.
Oh, how about that?
It had been a pretty quiet morning, and with only a couple of flathead in the boat, we decided it was time to head in and take Rose back to land. On the way in, the dolphins came out to play. As they always do, they seem to just love boats and love people and be interactive. Oh well, that's fishing. No shark for Rose today. After Rose being a bit seedy after our last trip, we decided that we needed a flat day to get her out on the tuna. So we've got a flatter day, but we've got a little bit more swell, so we're hoping that she's going to deal with that okay. The plan today is to find Rose a tuna and hopefully banish the sort of seasickness feeling she was having last time. So Rose, first time out on the tuna.
Yep, first time.
You excited or are you a bit nervous or fearful?
I'm a bit both.
Yeah.
Excitedly nervous.
Awesome. So we've got a bit of swell out here this morning too, so probably your first swell episode.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different to normal.
Yep.
A bit bigger swell than on our little boat.
Yep. And it's like when you're fishing in the Gulf, there isn't any swell. So when we come out here, it is quite a surprise, quite a shock the first few times.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're looking for birds, that's what we're doing, and we're hoping to get you on a fish.
Yeah, well, that'd be good if we see any birds. We've seen a few, but they sort of dispersed, so...
You don't always catch tuna because of birds though. We've blind trolled a heap up. With Rose watching the swell out the corner of her eye, last time it was pretty flat, but we do have a bit of a swell today. We were just hoping for a fish real fast. With Rose on first strike, she was pretty eager as soon as that rod went off. It didn't go off with a bang, but you know, sometimes the biggest tuna puts up the least fight, and vice versa. Rose was also beginning to doubt as to whether this was a tuna. I think she was expecting a lot more. I think it's the tiniest tuna I've ever seen.
That's big enough for me! Good!
See, it's tiny, Rose.
I don't care! Got to start small to get big. So what do I do now?
You take a photo.
I got first one!
South
I got one!
353814.
Awesome.
Whoa! Nearly got
Talk
through the
about
leg.
stoked. Rose was beside herself with her first fish. You couldn't get the smile off her face. Go on, upgrade him.
138.
I got tuna guts on my fingernails. My head. I'm so excited.
So that was just a bubba. We need to upgrade you.
Yeah, I know, but it's a good way to start. Yeah, that's true. Better to start small and get bigger.
That's true. That's true. So we're just going to try and find something of a decent size for you. Like,
At least I contributed to the bait tank.
True.
Get a shark with that
Might
one.
be able to get a sharp on that, Savo. Awesome.
I'm excited.
Let's go find a bigger one.
He was little, wasn't he?
But it was mine,
He was yours.
and I was happy it was only little, so I
Didn't even know.
yeah.
You did very well, Rose.
We run our lighter line class on the outriggers. Today, they're 6s. We do this so that we can run a skirt off and there's no pressure on the rod to pull the drag out. The 3 rods at the back are all 10 kilos and they're for Rose.
There's another one. Get the rod in there.
Rose was really happy with her little tuna, but Jules and I had other plans and we wanted to get her onto something that was of a fairly decent size, something that would give her a little bit of a tickle up so that she actually knew she'd caught a tuna. But a 3-way hookup it wasn't really in the equation this soon. It looked like all 3 fish were going to get to the side of the boat at around the same time. So the plan here was to get my fish in first because that would just get 1 fish off that side of the boat, then Rose, then if Jules was still on, come back and hopefully get all 3. Sound simple enough?
Than the last one. Jeez Louise.
Still got another fish to go now?
Yeah, I've got one more. What do I do with that? Stand back here out of the way. They're all about the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, and this one, the tag goes up and down, right here like that. Right, so there, just like that. I've already written on that
Yeah,
one.
I know.
So now we're going to
Got me.
a little bit more back in, Rose.
Yeah.
There's not much
You don't want to keep me for bait?
We always try and troll forward just a little bit longer than we need to. So we've given Rose a short corner to bring in, just in case she hooks up on the retrieve.
They seem to like those pink lures. The skirts, yeah.
We've been using these skirts, Troll So Hard, made by local guide James Flack for most of the summer now, and they are blimmin' awesome. So check them out, Troll So Hard, TSH. High five, Rose, that's a good fish.
Good fish.
We choose to tag and release our fish. So we pop in a tag, we measure them up, So we've got some information for the tag cards. This is one of the benefits of belonging to a game fishing club. That sits furthest from the boat is called the shoddy, and it's gone off. So yes, Rose is on. As the only crew member not on a fish, my job's to clear the deck so these two can just settle in nicely and get into some sort of a routine. These are both big fish. Jules is still screaming way off out the back. Our main concern here is to get Rose's fish into the boat, and it sounds like it's going to be an awesome one. So Jules, she's just going to have to let hers go, wander around the boat. She's had enough experience and knows what to do. We need Rose to get a big fish. We preset the drags so that we don't lose fish because of a too tight drag. And if anyone plays with the drags, they get the wrath of Skip come upon them. This fish of Jules is a good sized fish, and he's taken off so much line that she thinks we have a drag problem. But we don't. We set it at 1/3 the line class, so her drag is set at 2 kilos and Rose's is set at 3.3. She's fishing with a 10 kilo line.
Oh, I can feel it right here. It's going all the way in. Pull up. Wind down. Pull up. Wind down. Pull up. Bring your rod down to the water, right? Like I showed you before. No, just wait. Not on the motor. This way. Bring your rod right down like that. That's it.
Danger diverted. I just really want to get this fish on the boat for Rose.
So we've got double on there. Pull up. Wind down. Pull up. Pull up.
If we're going to lose this fish, now will be the time. So we just have to just carefully get this together. We need to get that fish's head up so we can poke him into the net.
Right up, you've got to bring him up so I can get him in the net. You've got to come up higher than that, Rose. Wind down. Lift up. Wind down. Good. Take him around one more time. Bring him back to me. Now. Excellent. Grab the back of the net, Rose. Jesus!
Go for it, girl!
He's taking my bloody breath away! I might even have one on the board now!
Come on! I have a tag, really?
I might have!
fish on board.
He's sucking on the towel.
Well, you have to take the towel out of his mouth. Don't put your fingers in his gills and just put him over the side. He's got a tag, so he's a first tag fish.
And there we go. See you later, baby.
How's that feel?
Oh, awesome.
You know, it's great catching fish and there's no better feeling, but it's really hard to describe how it feels as a skipper to put people on their first fish. You skippers out there, you know exactly what I mean. Jules have been on that fish for around 45 minutes. I don't even need to tell you where she's at.
It's gone. It couldn't have been a tuna. Ah, ah, ah.
So we did catch a heap more fish that day, but we're going to save that for another story. We had an awesome day. Rose just so deserved to catch that fish. It's been one of the highlights as a skipper. I just love putting people on their first fish. And you know what? Rose gets crook every single time we take her out. So I'm pretty proud of you, Rose, and you can be proud of yourself as well. Thanks for watching our show, and if you enjoyed it, please go and make yourself familiar with our socials. This is Justagirl, out.